WMDT 47 News,
Live
live at 11.
Open our mic and cue.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jenny Lee. More news in less time starts now. The hunt for a man accused of killing Isidro Vasquez Hernandez has ended. 18-year-old Joshua Cathel turned himself in around 10:30 this morning after learning he was a suspect. Troopers found Hernandez in an Oak Grove mobile home near Dover last night. He had been missing since Monday. Cathel reportedly shot Hernandez one time in the head, dragged him into a bedroom, and fled the scene. Cathel has been charged with first-degree murder, among others, and is being held without bail. In Laurel, a 13-year-old boy was hit by a van while riding his bicycle on Sussex Highway last night. According to police, the driver of the van couldn't see the teen cyclist as he was crossing the street. The boy, who was not wearing a helmet, was thrown off the bike and landed on the road. He was taken to the hospital where he is said to be in stable condition. The crash is still under investigation.
Roll.
WMDT 47 News first forecast.
Open his mic and cue.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Shawn. Well, today we set out and saw a beautiful day. Temperatures were up above average in the 70s here in Salisbury. And we did see the sun out for the whole entire day with a few clouds passing through. As we look at the radar, we're going to continue to see that overnight. Nice clear conditions. And looking at with the weather watchers, Shirley Jackson in the American Corner at 51 degrees. Chucky Plummer at 65. Ted Parker at Millsboro at 56. And then Sarah Ashford Pittsville at 53, and down in Christiel at Summers Cove Marina at 61 degrees. So we're going to see these temperatures cool off slightly, but now back to Jen.
Over to Mike and cue.
Thanks so much, Shawn. A Delaware Native American tribe has reached to celebrate after a burial ground of their ancestors became a state historic landmark. WMDT's Cody Leibowitz spoke with the chief and his family about what this means for the family's history.
Wrong.
This is about our legacy.
The first state honors the early ancestors of the Kersey Daisy Nanticoke with the dedication of a cemetery. It's the resting place for 23 members of the tribe and includes a man from the 18th century.
It's a point in time of history in Delaware where we're actually recognizing a very historical piece of land that is actually a burial ground.
Chief William Daisy calls this special occasion not only a celebration, but a reflection of his past.
We've remained hidden in effect for many years for our own survival. We had to. You know, if you popped up, you were a target. You did not want to become a target.
For his kids, it meant growing up without much knowledge of their ancestors.
I'm 51 years old, so when I was a little kid, there wasn't a powwow. There wasn't a time to share the heritage and culture. There wasn't a time to learn about it.
But the chief tells us he hopes that this new marker will begin to change things. 500 historical markers throughout the state of Delaware, but only 8 of them recognize a burial ground. And for the Kersey Daisy family, this is just another chance to preserve their culture. Cody Leibowitz, WMDT 47 News.
Open our mic and cue.
The Kersey Daisy Nanticoke Burial Ground is located at the Eagle Point development in Lewis. And though most of the land is used for townhouses, nothing can now be built on top of that burial ground.
Wrong.
And of course, you can find this story and much more online. Just log on to our website at WMDT.com. The Maryland Jobs Report has just been released, and it looks like good news. According to the preliminary survey, Maryland gained 9,800 jobs during September, topping last year's August to September gain of 9,500. This marks the largest gain for the month since 2003. The private sector gained 9,600 jobs, accounting for 98% of the monthly upturn. And there's good news in the Delaware job market. Unemployment in Delaware has dipped to 6.8%, down from 6.9% in August. And just last September, 7.4% of the state was unemployed. While Wilmington has seen a 0.6% drop in unemployment, 10.2% of the city is still jobless. Kent County has the highest county rate of unemployment at 7%.
Wrong. Open our mic cue.
Here's a look at some of the stories making national headlines tonight. A stunning announcement out of Libya on the anniversary of Muammar Gaddafi's death. The late dictator clashes between pro-government militia and Gaddafi's loyalists. He was wounded in the town of Bani Walid and was said to have died while being transported to Misrata. Bani Walid was a longtime loyalist holdout during Libya's civil war. Clashes in that city killed more than a dozen people and injured at least 200. In Colorado, police believe they found a clue that will help crack the case of 10-year-old Jessica Ridgway, who was kidnapped and killed on her way to school earlier this month. ABC's Clayton Sandel has the story.
It is a bizarre new clue, a small wooden cross police say belongs to Jessica Ridgway's killer.
It looks like it was cut, whether by hand or by machine, out of a solid block of wood.
Overnight, investigators released new photos of the cross, hoping someone recognizes it. It was found at one of the crime scenes in the case, but police won't say which one, because that is information only the killer knows.
We believe that it was left behind or dropped by somebody that was involved and knows information that we're looking for.
Left intentionally, perhaps.
It potentially was left intentionally.
Jessica vanished October 5th as she walked to school. Hundreds of volunteers scoured the area near her Westminster, Colorado home, but found no sign of the fifth grader. 2 days later, her backpack was left conspicuously on a sidewalk in a neighborhood about 7 miles away. A few days after that, Jessica's dismembered body was discovered in this field.
We recognize that there is a predator at large in our community.
Police are now re-examining an attempted abduction Memorial Day weekend at this lake near Jessica's home. A female jogger was grabbed by a man who tried to put a rag over her mouth. The woman got away.
It's fairly close to where Jessica was abducted and later where her body was found.
The cross has 3 distinct marks on one side, and on the other what appears to be the letter S. Now police are crossing their fingers that this will be the break that leads to justice for Jessica. For Good Morning America, Clayton Sandel, ABC News, Westminster, Colorado.
Open the mic and cue.
Still to come tonight, should tax dollars help teen parents finish high school? And later, a once controversial fertility treatment may be a little safer. Stay with us. You're watching WMDT 47 News.
Roll.
WMDT 47
3,
News.
2,
The Marvin's
1.
choice for more
Take it
news
in it.
in less time.
Roll. Stand by.
WMDT 47 weather.
Open his mic and cue.
Welcome back to WMDT. Today we saw plenty of sunshine and those temperatures above average. Saw a high of 73 here in Salisbury, so that's 6 degrees above average, where we should be about this time of year. As we look at the satellite and radar, we're going to see mostly clear conditions with a few passing clouds overnight, and then by tomorrow we'll see that all clear out and sunny conditions back into the forecast. As we look at the current temperatures, are dropping slightly. Salisbury at 53, along with Easton, and 52 in Ocean City. A little warmer down at Walls at 58 degrees. We'll continue to see these temperatures drop out overnight. We'll see them down into the 40s, 44 to 49 degrees. And like I said, a few clouds and cool conditions with that northwest breeze. As we look at into Sunday, cooler conditions, but we will see that sunshine continue. And as we look over to our west, dominated by high pressure, so for the most part, we're going to stay this way into next week, most likely. And as we look at tomorrow's temperatures, 63 to 68 degrees. So it is going to be a little chillier, but we will still see that sunshine out. As we look on to your 7-day forecast in Salisbury, a high of 67 for your Sunday to end the weekend, and then back into next week, we'll see those temperatures back into the 70s, so above average. And as we get into Wednesday, we'll see it hit 76 degrees, which is very warm for your October. Back to Jen.
Roll. Open our mic, cue.
Thanks so much, Shawn. Here's a look at what's going on in the world of health this evening. A Virginia school is trying to raise graduation rates with teen parents by providing free child care. But not everyone thinks the taxpayer-funded program is a good idea. CNN's Athena Jones.
Delta. Roll.
Teen mom Alexis Barbie has big goals.
I would like to be a nurse or a lawyer.
But when she got pregnant at 16, she feared she'd have to put them on hold. Now she brings her 9-month-old daughter with her to her Richmond, Virginia high school. While Alexis goes to class, her daughter goes to daycare downstairs. Alexis also gives parenting classes, which include spending time at the daycare. The program is funded with local and federal dollars.
Administrators here at Armstrong High School hope this program will help raise graduation rates.
Just 38% of teen girls who have a child before age 18 get a high school diploma. While it's unknown exactly how many high schools offer daycare, these programs are available in states across the country. Studies show that providing teen mothers with access to childcare at school not only increases their likelihood of graduating, it also lowers the chance they'll have another child while in high school. But some critics say these programs are not a good use of taxpayer dollars.
It's something that we should be looking to charitable organizations, philanthropists, lots of people who are interested in this, and to fund it.
On the contrary, says the director of federal grants for Richmond City Schools, she believes the program is invaluable.
The data for parents who don't graduate from high school is going to be a ripple negative impact on their children's education.
The daycare gives Alexis peace of mind.
But she's in a good place.
And Alexis is in a better place too, determined to graduate on time next spring. Athena Jones, CNN, Richmond, Virginia.
Open our mic and cue.
Once dubbed an experimental procedure, the process of freezing a woman's eggs is now safer and more reliable than ever. According to the American Society of Reproductive Medicine, the high success rate and improved technology have led it to strip away the experimental label. But they warn egg freezing is typically only for patients with medical conditions that hinder fertility. Coming up, meteorologist Shawn has your beach forecast. Plus, it might not be warm enough to go for a dip in the ocean, but that doesn't mean you should stay away from Ocean City. See what's happening at Oktoberfest. Don't go away, you're watching WMDT 47.
Charlie, roll.
Find these stories and more at WMDT.com.
Take it in. Roll. Open our mic, cue.
Welcome back. Here's a look at what's going on across Delmarva and County Connection. Wine lovers enjoyed a beautiful day out at Pemberton Park for the 10th annual Autumn Wine Festival. Organizers kicked off day one of the two-day festival with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and cake. The event offers samplings from over 20 Maryland wineries and some great live music. The festivities begin at 12:30 and end at 6 p.m. tomorrow. For ticket information, just go to autumnwinefestival.org. Ocean City kicked off its first annual Oktoberfest today. Organizers say the Halloween-themed event came together as a bridge between Sunfest and Winterfest. All events including the Halloween beach maze are set up alongside North Division Street. So what can families expect to find hidden inside this maze?
Wrong.
They might find a couple of tarantulas, might find a couple of snakes here and there, maybe some vampire bats. And it's just fun for the family and great picture opportunities for everyone.
Open our mic and cue.
If you missed the action at the boardwalk today, you still have a chance to walk the maze tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and next weekend. And next Saturday, there will be a great pumpkin race at 2 p.m.
Roll.
WMDT 47 weather.
Open this mic and cue.
Well, here's a look at the futurecast over the next few days. Tonight we will see partly cloudy conditions, so there will be a few clouds in the forecast. And as we look into Sunday, we clear out nicely, and this goes along for Monday as well. As we look out into the 7-day forecast, we will see conditions stay the same as it is right now, basically.
Not much
weather going on. As we look into the 7-day forecast, our high for Sunday is 65 degrees, and then we're back into the 70s by Tuesday, Thursday. Back to Jenny.
Open your mic and cue.
Thanks so much, Shawn. Coming up, meteorologist Shawn Holloway will be back with your marine forecast. Plus, what do Tom Hanks, a ping pong paddle, and the election have in common? Find out next. But first, here are tonight's winning numbers.
Where's that go? Delta. Roll.
Join us on Facebook at WMDT.com.
6, please. Roll. Open our mic, cue.
Here's a look at your Hollywood headlines tonight. LAPD responded to a call from Lindsay Lohan's house yesterday afternoon. They say Lindsay's father was trying to hold some sort of intervention, saying she'd fallen off the wagon. And her mother has reportedly said this incident was just an attempt by her father, Michael, to keep his name in the press. Lindsay's rep has yet to comment. Politicians aren't the only ones passionate about the election. During an interview for his new film, Cloud Atlas, Tom Hanks told MTV viewers, quote, "If you don't vote this year, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to spank you right in the butt." The Castaway star even whipped out a bright red paddle just so any non-voters know what they'll be facing. On Saturday Night Live, comedian Amy Poehler played a number of larger-than-life characters, but she toned it down a little to talk to ABC's David Wright about advising teen girls on awkward subjects in her Ask Amy website.
Wrong.
Am I enough? Do I fit in? You still ask yourself those questions when you're 40.
Amy Poehler knows how to make people laugh.
Really, Congress? You held the Congressional Committee on Reproductive Rights and you did not invite any women. Really?
But she also has a gift for making people feel better about themselves.
Dear Amy, what advice would you give to a young woman with body issues?
Her website, Smart Girls at the Party, features a popular advice section for teenage girls.
I feel what you're feeling, and I think
An
most
open in
women do.
Delta.
The internet can be a really tough place for a young girl.
So she offers advice, not as an expert, but a big sister.
The earlier you learn that you should focus on what you have and not obsess about what you don't have, the happier you will be.
If you were 13, what would you ask me?
Oh, that's a good question. If I was 13, my question probably would have been like, I'm so flat-chested, what do I do about it? To be honest with you.
And your answer now?
My answer would be like, enjoy it while you can. Being flat-chested is great. Clothes fit, and it's amazing.
What's the advice that you wish someone had given you when you were 13?
The real core of who you are is there.
Stay around Delta.
And you just have to kind of keep listening to it.
Track it. Stay around
And your
Shawn.
life will unfold the way it's supposed to.
Wrong.
WMDT 47 weather.
Open Mike and Q.
Here's a look at the marine forecast for the Chesapeake Bay. We do have a small craft advisory for Sunday. Northwest winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts at about 20 and waves in the 3-foot range. As we look over to the Atlantic, northwest winds once again 10 to 15 knots, seas in the 3 to 4 foot range. And also at the Delaware Bay, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 3 foot seas. As we look at your 7-day forecast for Georgetown, tomorrow's going to be a cooler day. Temperatures only reaching the mid-60s, and then as we get back into next week, we'll be back above average, and those temperatures will be back in the 70s. Thanks for watching WMDT. We'll be right back.
Charlie. Wrong.
WMDT 47 News.
2,
Marvis joins for
1.
more news in
Take
less
it
time.
Wrong.
Hairstyles brought to you by Designers Inc.
Open it and Q.
Well, tomorrow's looking like a great day again. Just temperatures slightly cooler. Overnight, we will see those temperatures drop down into the 40s, so 44 degrees here in Salisbury. By the morning time, when you wake up, you'll see those temperatures around 53. Your afternoon high around 67 degrees here in Salisbury. If you look at your 7-day forecast for Dover, we'll see those temperatures on Sunday with a high of 64, so much cooler, and then back into the 70s by the middle of next week.
Thanks so much, Shawn, and thanks for making us your choice for news tonight. If you missed any of the phone numbers or web links, you know where to go.
And don't forget to friend us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.
Delta. Wrong.
This broadcast was brought to you in part by the Hertrick family of automobile dealerships.